Hey guys, sorry, just trying to set up my my Facebook Go Live. So give me one quick minute, and we will get started. Okay, let's see. Reading from standard spin hard drive to an SSD. Oh, I guess I can't do that. Okay. Go live. Okay. 2, 1. Yay. Okay, cool. Okay. So let's get my views. Good. Okay, sweet. All right. Hi everyone. Kevin here again from Freelance Computing. And I'm going to be discussing with you upgrading from a standard hard drive to a solid state. Right now it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. Hey, buddy. Hey, what's going on? So not sure how many people I'm going to have here on the live stream, but that's all right. The sun finally just came out. So probably people will be doing yard work and all that stuff. Oh, okay, good. Hey, Greg. Hey, Chad. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Hey, what's that? What's that? Can you see? Come back here. Come here. Come here. Hey, what's that? Hey, what's that? Is that you? Is that you? Okay, go. Okay. All right. Anyways, okay. So, hey, Sydney. So what is going on is I had another one of my clients who was telling me their computer was pretty much running really, really slowly. My friend Ryan, actually, he runs a company called Third Shift Fabrications, and he does beautiful work with stainless steel and everything. So he uses a CNC. And he has a computer that he's using for that, and then also a couple other computers lying around when he uses his programs for CNCs to do the cutouts. So he was basically telling me that the computer that he gave me is having issues when it comes to pretty much performance issues. It's running really slow, and then also when he is running his CNC. When he's working on the actual files, the files are huge. So what's up happening is that every single time he tries to move something or change something, it takes at least 15, 20 minutes to load. Now, he is not shy when it came to his budget. He was basically like, I need, just do whatever you can. Don't worry about the cost. I'll just pay you back later. And I was basically telling him like, okay, well, I'm not going to have you waste money on stuff that you don't need to get. So how I usually work through it is focus on specific parts first. So the first thing I always upgrade is the hard drive. So let me show you guys an example. So here is a regular standard spin hard drive. So actually, let me try shutting off this light. Let's see if that helps. Give me a second. A little bit. Okay, so this is your standard spin hard drive. This is actually his original one. The size is not bad. It's a 500 gig, so he has plenty of space. But the only problem is that it's been used for a couple of years, and it's not as fast as solid states. So the can't talk today. The solid state hard drive is pretty much what this is. So notice how it's a lot smaller. And the best thing about it, there is literally no moving parts at all. So what's great about this is that, especially if you have them installed on laptops, You don't have to worry about shutting your laptop down or hibernating it and moving it around and having the hard drive pretty much like shake around and everything. The scary part about this is there's platters and needles in these. So if it's currently spinning and you're moving it around, what's going to happen is the data could potentially get damaged or corrupt the hard drive, that sort of things. Solid states are a lot more stable, a lot faster. But the only sacrifice is that you pay a higher premium for the space that you want. So this is a 500 gig. The one I installed in Ryan's machine, I think it's a 128. But I asked him, like, do you need the space? And he's like, no, I just need it for Windows. And then just for my program that I use for my CNC. And that's pretty much it. So I was like, okay. So I told him, I was like, just remember that you don't have enough space. It's like what, like a little bit over a fifth of what he used to have. But it'll boot up a lot quicker and it'll be a lot more stable, and you should not run into any of those issues that you're having. So let me show you guys the actual desktop too, and I'll show you what I did. And it was pretty much limited. What I wanted to do also was upgrade the RAM and everything too. But unfortunately, this is a pre-built machine. It's a Lenovo, as you can see from the advertisement right there. And it was very limited when it comes to space. So what I'll do is I'll crack the side panel open, and I've already done the work. So basically, I didn't want you to sit there as I'm installing Windows and all that. But what's nice about having a solid state is that Windows literally installed in less than 20 minutes. Hey, Jason and Danielle. Hey, long time, man. How you been? Okay, so let's crack this thing open. I'll turn back on the light so you guys can see pretty much what's going on inside. And I'll try to angle the camera down again so you guys can see what's going on. All right. Well, that one's easier. This one. Always pain in my butt. Okay. All right. So this is the desktop here. And as you can see, I kind of had to make it a little bit funky. So the hard drive was here. So it was basically sitting underneath, like right here. But I didn't have a tray. But like I said, the solid state we don't really have to worry about. So here's a solid state hard drive. I installed it right over here. You can see that gray layer, and it's held on by one screw. This you don't really have to worry because A, it's really light. B, there's no moving parts. And as long as it's held on by a screw, I could just leave it dangling, but then he'll probably be like, what the hell is that noise? But I digress. So I basically installed that, and now that's all set. And then I wanted to upgrade the RAM. Now, the only problem with the RAM is that he only has 2 slots, unfortunately. So that's these guys right here. So I told him right now he's maxed out because it's 4 gigs each, so he has a total of 8, which normally it should be plenty of RAM for him to use. But I did tell him that if he's still running into choppy issues, let me know, and we can try to see if we could put some 8 gig modules in there, and maybe the computer might be able to recognize it. It is an older desktop, so I'm actually not quite sure. And then finally, the last part is the graphics card here. So he does have a couple of he has an open slot here for a graphics card. But if you notice, the power supply, it is tiny. This, unfortunately, is a proprietary power supply. So in my previous video, I showed you guys how you had your standard 20 and your 24 pin. This one over here, it's something tiny and funky. I'll try to get it into the frame. All right, here we go. So it's that plug right over there, that white thing. So notice how it's a lot smaller. And also notice there's no extra power plugs. So literally, I cannot install anything extra. Sorry guys, I can't install anything extra. So it literally has just enough power. Well, there's like one SATA here if I wanted to add like another hard drive, for example. But for the video card, I'm very limited because most power supplies come with a additional 6-pin, dual 6 pins, dual 8 pins, or a 6-pin and an 8-pin. But the only problem is because of this. Yes, you're right. SSDs are awesome. I can only get certain video cards that don't require additional power. But the only problem is with those type of video cards, they're not that much better, I guess. Maybe they are. I mean, this already has onboard video. I mean, it has VGA and it has DisplayPort. So it should do the job because the one thing I forgot to mention too is the program that he's using. It's not 3D, thankfully. Excuse me. So he's not using like SolidWorks or AutoCAD or anything like that. So it's I forgot what the name of the program was. It's called a Digital Edge or something like that, or Cutting It. I don't know. But basically, we don't have to upgrade the video card because that would be a complete waste. So that was actually the first thing that he mentioned. He was like, oh, maybe if we upgraded the video card, it'll help speed up the process. I was like, well, everything that you've told me, it sounds like it's not the video card itself. It's actually might be like a hard drive issue where he's trying to load these gigantic programs, and it's just not running smooth. So I told him, like, we'll start with the hard drive, and then we'll move to the RAM, and then if that's still not working, then we'll go into the video card. But like I told him before, it's very limited. But I could still find some video cards that don't require additional power. Like I think GTX 1050s don't require additional power, and that'll still be better than what he has on board. So, okay, so I'm saying hi to Chris, to Julie, to Ryan McCormick, and to Ryan. Oh, hey, Ryan. Hey, I'm doing a video about your desktop. Hold on. See? Look at that. That's yours. Look familiar? Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do also is show you guys the quickness of how fast a solid state boots up compared to his old drive. Now, I'm not going to put back in his old drive, mainly because I have a feeling that his drive also might be failing. It's not clicking, but you could definitely hear the thing turning. Oh, yes. Check your CMOS. Actually, that's another thing, too. For his desktop, he did mention he watched my video about checking the CMOS battery, and he was having the same issues where I guess the clock kept on resetting, and he had to go into the BIOS and reset everything. So just off a whim, I did check his CMOS, and Ryan, I already told you, the CMOS battery actually was dead. So I replaced that too. But let me hook up the computer down here. Actually, no, I'll hook it up there so you guys can see what's going on. All right. So I'll just do like a really quick boot up, and I'll show you guys how fast this thing boots up. I already showed him a video of this, and no joke, it was just a quick Facebook video, and I just basically from a cold start, I pushed the power button. Oh, I'll move this over. I pushed the power button. Turned it on, and literally the recording said it was like 19 seconds, and it booted right into Windows. So yeah, he was pretty excited about that. All right, so now here comes the fun part. I am going to try to angle my cameras so you guys can see the boot. Now, before, the computer probably took at least, now this is me being gracious, 5 to 10 minutes for it to fully boot into Windows, and it was ready to go. Like, I don't mean the background. I mean, like, there's nothing loading. Some people kind of cheat. So when it says like, oh yeah, booted into Windows, but you still can't click on anything because it's still loading all the applications in the background. This one, legitly, you push the power button, and within 20 to 30 seconds, you're ready to go. You can click around and do whatever you want. All right, so bear with me, guys. The camera's going to be a little bit shaky. I'm going to try to get it so you could see what's going on. All right, so that's the That's the Facebook one. Let me get the YouTube one. Come on, wires. Come on. Hey! All right. Sorry. Oh, come on. Don't tell me it's too short. There we go. And I'm just going to put this like that. Oh, okay. Good enough. All right, so I'll just hold it there. All right. So everything's plugged in. Notice how the computer's not on. And now I'm just going to fire it up, and then you guys be the judge of the speed. Actually, I'll wait 3, 2. There we go. Oh, no. I didn't like that double beep. What the hell is that double beep? Oh, never mind. Woo! That was just a boot up. There you go. Look at that. So I started at 30 seconds, and now it's at 50 seconds, and he's in Windows. Like, it's literally ready to go. That's it. And so, you know what I'll do? I will actually... Let me plug in the mouse here. I'll even do it from like a restart. So I'll just do it from restart. So it's at 15 seconds on the clock on the live. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. And there we go. And literally, I'm not even kidding me. Look, I could just go right into it. All the programs already. Now, okay, now granted, this is a fresh install of Windows. So there's literally like nothing installed. Just the basic stuff like Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, you know, the basic stuff. But that I don't even know how else to explain it to you. Who else is here? Hi, Melissa. Oh, Katie, hi. And Al. Hey, good to see you guys online. All right, anyways, don't worry about that because it's not connected online. So, okay, and then now just to prove it, I'll just do like a shutdown. Okay, ready? And 3, 2, 1, go. All right, 5 seconds. 10 seconds. 15 seconds, and boom, there you go. Now see how there's like a little spinny, but then the spinny's gone? That's when you know everything's pretty much loaded. So, all right, I can't prove this enough to you guys that it's already pretty damn fast. So, all right, let me put these cameras back to where they belong. So, you guys gotta get a good zoom in of my face and whatnot. How do I do this? Oh crap. Oh, okay, that goes in like that. And now this one goes in like that. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so sorry guys, let me put these wires away real quick and we'll go back to chatting. Hey, what is that? What do you got? What is it? Is that kitty cat? Is that a kitty cat? Huh? Is that your kitty cat? Okay, so anyways, so that is basically the main difference between a standard spin hard drive and a solid state. Now, they do actually make faster faster drives too. So let me show you an example. So this one here, this tiny little bad boy here, this is called a NVMe. I think I mentioned this. Yes, this is my world, Al. Welcome to it. Anyway, so this is another type of solid state drive. So you have your other solid states like I showed you before, like something like this. But then you have this one, which is even faster and smaller and very, very impressive. This is pretty much the newest type of solid states that they have now. Uses a whole different type of technology. I won't get into the details, but it's pretty damn fast. So if you think 20 seconds is fast, but who knows? There might be some people like, oh, 20 seconds, so long, right? IT problems. Basically, With that drive, you could literally turn it on and off, and within like a split 5 to 10 seconds, it just goes on, off, on. It's pretty damn quick. And those drives are actually used. Well, they're more efficient when it comes to like hibernating your computer, putting in sleep mode. A lot of people that I've talked to who own Macs, and the reason why they own Macs, and as they use it, they were really impressed with the fact that they could literally close the lid, it'll go to sleep, they open the lid, and it boots up right away. Now, unfortunately, with Windows, it wasn't as efficient when it comes to that. It did take a while for it to finally boot back up. But with these new solid states and everything, oh, it's great. It'll fire right back up as soon as it goes into sleep mode and whatever. So, anyways, all right. So that is pretty much the hard drive and solid state. If you like what you guys see, please go to my YouTube and subscribe. There's also a like button if you like what I did. If you don't, well, push the other one. There's also a little bell icon for notifications, so you can get notified the next time I do videos like this. And please like and share if anyone is interested in the stuff that I do. If you know anyone that could learn something from this. And let me show you guys something I'm working with. This is going to be pretty funny. Give me a second. So this behemoth is what I was working on last night. Hey, Matt and Jess, what's going on, guys? All right, so check this out. So, oh, this thing is ridiculous. Okay, so I was up until 4 o'clock last night. Don't ask me why. I just wasn't tired. So I figured, oh, why not just start building a machine? So I have this, not that one. Hold on. That guy right there. This green. Oh, Jesus. All right. Oh, God. I'll try to put it into frame. All right, here we go. I got to move this guy over. It's so huge. All right, so this case here is the only case I have that will fit that thing. I've actually had this cooler for quite a while. It's a Cooler Master V8 GTS. Let's see. Is this bad boy right here? Boom. And just a quick shout out to my friend Paul, Paulie. He runs his own channel called Modders Inc. You guys should definitely check it out. He does a bunch of reviews and everything. Yeah, this is like a turbo. And Matt, it's totally necessary. What the hell are you talking about? Anyways, so for you techie people, this is a ASRock Z77 Pro 3 LGA 1155. So I was able to pick up a Core i7 3770K, which is the reason why I put this thing on there. Thanks, Nano. So my friend Paul actually gave me this because he was like, hey, do you want a couple of CPU coolers? I was like, yeah, sure, I could always use them. So he gave me this thing, and I didn't realize how big this was until I actually took it out of the box. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like how? Oh my God, how am I going to fit this thing anywhere? So I literally went through at least 5 or 7 different cases, and none of them fit. And I was like, good Lord Almighty, what am I going to do? So a couple weeks ago, I happened to be on Facebook Marketplace, and I saw this guy selling that green case over there, and he was selling it for $20. And I was like, okay, sweet. Let's go ahead and meet up. So he ended up going to this place called Core Gaming in Salem, New Hampshire. Great place, by the way. So we ended up meeting up, and I felt really bad because I don't know. The guy looked like he was like nervous. He was afraid that I wasn't going to buy it because he even tried to he was trying to take off the side case and it was dented and kind of scraped up. I was like, dude, I don't care. It's just it's just cosmetic. As long as the case holds what I need it to hold, it'll be perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. I'm still going to buy it from you. He's like, okay, cool. So I bought it, and I actually had it sitting there for a while because I was thinking of maybe using it for a Ryzen build because I have a couple of Ryzen motherboards and whatnot. So anyways, so I ended up waiting, and then I got a couple of Intel motherboards. And people who know me, I do not buy Intel because of the cost. Usually the cost is ridiculous. So I ended up getting this board from a trade or something like that, but I didn't have a CPU for it. So of course I go on eBay and I ended up picking it up. I picked up the chip for about $140, which I think is actually still pretty decent. Although they were selling for like $180 to $200. I'm like, for a third generation Core i7, that was it sounded pretty expensive to me, but I was like, you know what, 140, okay, I could deal with 140. So then I was like, ooh, okay, now that I have this and I have the case and I have this cooler, let's see if it fits. So I just kind of did a mock fitting, and I just had to remove the rear case fan, and it fits in like a glove. Like, oh my god! And powering this thing up, it literally sounds like a jet freaking engine. It's hilarious. I love it. It's so ridiculous, but it's so good. Oh, I cannot wait. Oh, and it has red lights also that it lights up. So it's kind of funny because Intel is team blue and AMD is team red, and I have an Intel, but I have a red cooler. Anyways, I digress. So this is the next thing that I'm going to be working on. So I did already install the build. This here, got the chip in, got the cooler in. Now I just have to fit it into that case. And the cool thing about that case too is that it actually has 5 built-in fan controllers. So I'm gonna play around with that. Obviously, the only fans that are really going to be in there is this massive one, which I'm not going to connect it to the controller. There's no reason for it. It already has a controller here on the actual motherboard itself. And then it has a 140 millimeter fan on the top, this huge janky thing. And then I took out the 120 in the rear. Now what's cool about it too is that the side panel, let me show you guys. So the side panel here is a little bit obnoxious too. But at this point, why the hell not? Why wouldn't it be? So you can fit a 140 here, probably a 200, I think. I'm actually debating on going online and finding a 200 millimeter fan to shove in this thing. And then here on the bottom, you could fit 2 120s. So you could have massive intake or exhaust here on the side panel alone, in addition to all that. So this thing, I don't know where I'm going with this build, to be honest with you. It does have a spot in the front for a 120 or a 140 millimeter. So I did fit a fan in there too. So to be honest with you, I don't know where I'm going with this build. I'm pretty much just gonna put it together, shove a crap ton of fans in it, and then fire it up and see what I get for temps. And then if the temps are really low, then I'm just gonna start overclocking like crazy with this thing and just see what this massive thing. Oh, it's so crazy. It's so good. Oh my god. And I showed Eva too, and she was like, "What the hell is that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It looks like it's some futuristic grenade thing, but what the hell?" Anyways, all right. So I'm pretty much going to end the video here. Just a real quick shout out to Steve. How's it going? Simon. Hey. Ben. How's it going? And Kevin Tracy. How we doing, guys? So that is pretty much what I got going on for now. And then I will get back to you. I don't know if you guys saw my other video. It was in regards to the MacBook Air that I am currently, that is in progress. So once I get that part in, that's when I'm going to be swapping out the logic board Oh, I did test the. Oh, this was the caddy I was talking about from my previous video. So this caddy here is from a website called OWC. This place has a bunch of Mac stuff. Oh, and on the YouTube video, I'm gonna put links to everything I'm talking about. So in case you guys are interested in buying. Anyway, so this caddy is specifically for MacBook and MacBook Air solid states. Now that NVMe drive that I showed you guys, if you notice the connections are not the same. So here, let me show you an example. So if you could, son of a, oh jeez. All right, still good. Hold on. Nah. All right. So anyways, okay. So I'll try to get close here. So notice how you have the pins here, and there's that little notch. So that's like a 4-pin, and then it goes to like 26 or something like that, right? So remember this size. Now I'm going to show you the MacBook one. So remember how I told you guys how Mac likes to change things up and screw people over when it comes to replacing parts? Where the hell did I put it? MacBook. What the? Oh, I forgot to put it on the shelf. Oh, Jesus, my brain. All right, so you know what? I'll just do a side-by-side comparison. But anyways, yeah, I'll do a side-by-side comparisons. But notice how this is a lot different than what you saw before. See the pins? So here, I'll put it next to each other just so you guys get a better idea of how Apple likes to screw people over. All right, so here, take a look. Notice the difference between the two connections. That is dumb. Like, what the hell, Apple? Why? Well, anyways, I digress. So this caddy here, if you see, it says for Apple factory SSDs only. So this connection here is specifically for this connection. So what you do is you take the screw out from back here. That's just to hold it in from sliding out. You basically just snap it in, and it has this the proprietary funky USB type USB 3 connection here. And it does come with the cable and everything, and it comes with all the screws and yada yada. So basically, you can plug it in, set the caddy, and plug it into a MacBook or MacBook Pro, whatever, Apple. And then it will detect the drive as an external, and then you can pull whatever data that you need to. So the good news is, I plugged it in, and it was able to see and recognize the drive. The weird thing about it now is that it's not initialized. Now, for people who don't know, when you have hard drives and you plug them in, it goes through a thing called initialization, which allows you to basically tell the computer, hey, this hard drive exists. Here are the partition tables and yada, yada, yada. So it knows what it is, so you can actually read the data. My only concern right now is that when I plugged it into my MacBook Pro, it was not initialized. So that tells me a couple of things. Maybe A, that my MacBook is older and it just can't recognize the newer partition table. It uses a thing called HFS Plus or something like that. I forgot what the new one was. But I'm hoping that because my MacBook is older and is running an older Mac OS, that it just can't recognize the file system on the solid state drive. I even actually tried to boot it into this, and it won't recognize the bootloader. So I'm like, okay. But the good news is that the drive's not dead. So I'm just hoping I should be able to just swap the logic board out, and then from there we should be good to go. So we'll just go ahead and try that, and we'll see what happens. But anyways, all right. So this is where I'll go ahead and end the video. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Enjoy this beautiful afternoon if you guys are in the New England area. But anywhere else, definitely have a good weekend. Enjoy it. And just a shout out to, I think it's Veterans Day on Monday, so shout out to for those who served. If you guys happen to run into anyone or see anyone who is a veteran, this is just my opinion. You don't have to follow it, but go up, talk to them, shake their hand, and thank them for their service, no matter what war it was. Even though if you don't agree with war and everything, these people still fought for our country, and they still risked their lives for what they did for us, for everything we've done here, everything they've done here for Americans and American citizens. So just it'll take not even 30 seconds. I actually met with a veteran today. He sold me a laptop, which I'm going to be checking out and probably end up reselling. But he served in, he served in the Marines. I don't remember how long, but same thing. I shook his hand and I thanked him for his service, and he definitely did appreciate it. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, if you guys like everything, YouTube, Freelance Computing, like, subscribe, share on YouTube, or even on Facebook. Go to my Freelance Computing Inc. Incorporated, whatever. Just go ahead and search for that on the top search bar in Facebook, and share out this video, and I would appreciate it, and it really helped me out. All right, thanks guys. This is where I'll be ending the stream. Enjoy your weekend.